Welcome, amazing and beautiful souls. I'm so honored you're here with me. Welcome to the Phoenix Who's Risen. I'm your host, Oracle Warrior Goddess, and today we're diving into something that lives at the very core of this entire journey: spiritual sovereignty. Now, before you roll your eyes at yet another buzzword, let me tell you, this isn't some hashtag spirituality nonsense. This is soul truth. This is life truth. This is the foundation of real, raw, personal freedom. If you've ever felt like your life didn't fully belong to you, or that you were living by someone else's rules, expectations, or energy, you're going to feel this deep in your bones. Spiritual sovereignty is about taking full ownership of your path, your truth, your vibe, your choices. It's not just about being independent or woke. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about finally understanding that you don't owe your soul to anyone else. Not your family, not your past, not your religion, not your trauma, and definitely not the voices in your head that were never yours to begin with. Let's be real. We live in a world that loves to tell us who we're supposed to be. From the moment we're born, the programming starts. Be polite, be quiet, believe this, don't question that, fit in, follow the rules, sit down, stay small, don't rock the boat. And somewhere along the way, most of us, especially those of us who've survived trauma, start to believe that our power isn't safe, that our voice is too loud, that our truth is too much, that our soul has to stay hidden just to survive. Spiritual sovereignty is the radical act of saying, no, not anymore. It's looking at your life and saying, this is mine, my energy, my truth, my path, my connection to the divine. I don't need permission. I don't need validation. I get to trust myself. And let me tell you, reclaiming that level of power, it's not easy. It's not polished. It's not wrapped in angel numbers and Pinterest quotes. It's messy. It's emotional. It's painful. It's liberating. It's worth it. So today, we're not playing it safe. We're not staying surface level. We're going in. Because whether you're brand new to this path or you've been walking it barefoot for years, there's always a deeper layer to peel back. And sovereignty, that's where the real healing, the real magic, and the real rebirth begins. So go ahead, grab your favorite crystal, wrap up in your coziest blanket, light some sage if you feel called, or hell, sit in your car with the windows cracked because it's the only quiet space you've got. Wherever you are right now, come as you are. This is your time, this is your truth, and this is your space to remember who you really are. Let's begin. All right, let's set the record straight, because spiritual sovereignty gets thrown around a lot, and people love to twist it into something it's not. This isn't about rebellion for rebellion's sake. It's not about flipping off every structure or person who's ever told you what to do. It's not about being defiant or edgy or above it all. That's still ego. That's still performance. And it's sure as hell not about spiritual elitism. You don't get a crown for claiming you're more woke than the next person. You don't ascend faster because you've got more crystals, more followers, or a better morning routine. And let's be real, it's not about how many certifications, courses, or awards you've racked up. You could have a wall full of Healer of the Year plaques and still not know your own soul. Sovereignty doesn't come from paper. It comes from presence. It's not granted by a teacher. It's claimed by your spirit. You don't earn your soul's power through outside approval. You remember it. You embody it. You live it. And on the flip side, it's not about blindly handing your soul over to someone else's version of the truth either. Not the guru, not the healer, not your pastor, not your partner, not your parents, not even that told you this is the only way. Spiritual sovereignty means you stop outsourcing your connection to the divine. You stop asking, is it okay to feel this? You stop begging for someone to tell you who you are. You stop apologizing for your own knowing. Because here's the thing, true sovereignty isn't loud. It's not performative. It's not aggressive. It's a quiet, anchored knowing. A peace that comes from within because you're finally living in alignment with your own truth. You can receive guidance without giving your power away. You can walk beside teachers without being controlled. You can be humble and still trust your intuition more than anything outside of you. This isn't about separation, it's about liberation. You are not here to follow someone else's script. You are here to write your own damn story with soul ink and sacred fire. So, no, spiritual sovereignty isn't rebellion. It's not ego. It's not spiritual bypassing. It's not certifications, credentials, or status. It's I remember who I am. And nobody gets to edit that truth but you. Let's strip away the fluff and say it like it is. Being spiritually sovereign means you stop asking the world for permission to exist. You stop waiting for someone to tell you you're worthy. You stop searching outside yourself for proof that your intuition is real or your experiences are valid. You know who you are, and you own it. It means you claim full authorship over your energy, your emotions, your connection to source, and your sacred path. You're not looking for external approval or validation. You've unplugged from that need. You're not submitting your soul to a system. You're not molding your truth to fit someone else's template. You're standing in the center of your being saying, "This is me. This is my knowing. This is my connection to the divine. And no one gets to mediate that but me." And here's something nobody talks about enough. Spiritual sovereignty is sacred. It's not shared. It's not co-owned. It's not something you hand over to your partner or blend into a codependent dynamic. This isn't about being one with someone else. It's about being whole within yourself. It's about standing alone in the silence and hearing your divine wisdom whisper through the stillness. Not through your mother, not through your lover, not through your best friend, but through the sacred, unfiltered channel between your soul and the divine. Sovereignty isn't loud or flashy. It's not about being above the struggle. It's about being rooted within yourself while everything else tries to pull you out. It's the quiet strength of knowing you don't need a spiritual middleman. You don't need to be fixed. You just need to remember. It means tuning in to the frequency of your truth, even when it makes people uncomfortable, even when it means letting go of roles you've played, identities that kept you safe, or belief systems that no longer resonate. It means saying no when it costs you everything, and saying yes to yourself when it's the scariest thing you've ever done. And let's be clear, spiritual sovereignty is not about bypassing. You're not pretending everything's love and light. You're not ignoring the shadow or denying the pain. You're walking through it with your soul intact, knowing that healing doesn't require surrendering your power. It requires remembering it. You don't get spiritually sovereign by reading a book or attending a workshop. You get there by burning down everything false and choosing, moment by moment, to rebuild your life with what's real. You become your own energetic anchor. You make peace with your past, even the parts no one knows about. You stop handing over your power to fear, guilt, shame, or dogma. You don't outsource your worth to your trauma or your title. You listen to the quiet voice that's always been there beneath the noise. That is sovereignty. That is sacred. And that is your birthright. Spiritual sovereignty doesn't just disappear overnight. It's stolen, piece by piece, moment by moment, until you don't even realize it's gone. Sometimes it's obvious, abuse, trauma, control, but more often, it's subtle. It starts with someone else telling you that your intuition isn't trustworthy, that your feelings are too much, that your truth is inconvenient. And slowly that inner voice, the one that's been yours since before you could speak, starts to go silent. That's how the unraveling begins. You lose sovereignty when your no was punished, when your yes was expected, when the cost of being honest meant losing love, safety, or belonging, when the rules were survival, not authenticity. And let's talk about the spiritual manipulation too, because that's a whole other level of betrayal. When someone claims to speak for God, when you're told obedience is more holy than discernment, when spiritual hierarchy replaces sacred autonomy, that's not healing, that's programming. And it disconnects you from the very thing you were born with, your direct line to the divine. And religion? Let's tell the truth. It often buries sovereignty under mountains of guilt, shame, fear, and control. You're taught that you're broken, that you're not enough, that you must obey to be loved, that someone else always knows better. But your spirit was never meant to be micromanaged. Your soul didn't incarnate just to be compliant. Then come the shoulds. You should be quieter. You should be nicer. You should be grateful. You should sacrifice. You should stay. And let's not ignore this one. When people tell you your playful, joyful, childlike spirit is too much or immature, that light inside you, that's your spark. That's your creativity. That's your divine connection. When people shame that part of you, they're not just dimming your joy. They're trying to erase the most innocent, sacred part of your soul. But your inner child was never the problem. Their inability to receive that light, that's the problem. All those expectations, cultural, familial, religious, generational, they don't just shape you, they shrink you. They box in your fire until you forget it was ever there. And that's how you end up walking around disconnected, going through the motions, performing, pleasing, surviving instead of soaring. But let me tell you something loud and clear. Your sovereignty is never truly lost. It gets buried, silenced, dimmed, but it's still there, waiting, burning, wanting to be reclaimed. And that's exactly what we're here to do. Not just talk about the chains, but break them. Let's cut through the noise. If you constantly second guess your gut, if you need someone else to validate what your soul already knows, if you're afraid to speak your truth because it might upset the room, you've handed over your spiritual power and you probably didn't even know it. It usually doesn't start with a bang, it starts with a whisper. Don't trust yourself. Be careful who you offend. God's watching. Stay humble. Don't get too confident. And little by little, your voice becomes a murmur. Your fire dims. You start looking outward for what was always supposed to come from within. Here are a few real-deal signs that your spiritual sovereignty has been compromised. You feel guilty for choosing yourself. You're scared to speak what you believe. You ask others for permission to feel, believe, or change. You fear divine punishment if you mess up. You shrink around certain people because you don't want to make waves. You feel disconnected from your joy, your instincts, your creative spark. You wonder if you're wrong for questioning the things that never felt right. Let's be clear, that's not humility. That's not spiritual growth. That's soul suppression. You weren't created to be silent, obedient, or dependent. You were created to channel your own connection to Source, to express your truth, and to live in full alignment with your own energy, not anyone else's version of it. Spiritual sovereignty is trusting your body's signals. It's listening to your gut over someone's title. It's knowing the difference between fear and discernment. It's reclaiming the parts of you that were told they were too much, not enough, or wrong. So if any of this is hitting home, good. That means you're waking up. And waking up is the first step to rising, to remembering, to reclaiming every single piece of your sacred power. Because here's the truth, they don't want you to know. No one can actually take your power, but they can trick you into giving it away. And today, you take it back. All right, this is the moment where things shift, where we stop surviving and start remembering who the hell we are. Reclaiming your sovereignty isn't a cute affirmation. It's not a vibe. It's a sacred act of rebellion against every lie that told you your power had to be earned, approved, or hidden. It begins with radical self-awareness, not the kind you find in self-help memes, the kind that burns through the fog, the kind that makes you pause and ask, wait, who told me this was true? Who benefits from me believing this? Do I even believe this, or was I trained to? Is this belief mine, or does it belong to someone who taught me fear? Some of your deepest beliefs were absorbed in moments of trauma, silence, or blind trust, and you never stopped to ask if they fit you. That's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to clean house now. Reclaiming sovereignty means unlearning what was never meant for you. It's returning home to your own truth. It's silencing the outside voices long enough to hear your inner one, that deep knowing, that soul whisper, that voice that says, "This is me." And yeah, it means letting go of beliefs that punish instead of liberate, letting go of expectations that make you shrink to fit, letting go of fear disguised as righteousness, letting go of needing permission to evolve. Because your relationship with the divine, that's between you and Source. Period. No middleman, no fear based doctrine, no spiritual gatekeeping. Just you, your truth, and a connection built on trust, not terror. You're not here to live under spiritual surveillance. You're here to live free, to build a life that feels like you, through and through. To say what you mean, honor your body's signals, and choose from love, not fear. This is what it means to reclaim your sovereignty, to feel safe in your own energy, to trust your intuition more than approval, to live like your soul is in charge, not your past, to walk away from anything that cages your spirit. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing freedom. So take a breath, feel it. That quiet fire in your gut, that's your power. It never left. You're just finally ready to come get it. So there I was, caught in the whirlwind again. The swirl of expectations, obligations, and invisible roles I never signed up for. It felt like I had been performing a life instead of living one, numb, compliant, distant from the real me. Like I was inhabiting a body with a silenced voice. I remember one morning in particular. I was sitting in my kitchen, thinking about everything I'd been shifting through, energetic blocks, old trauma, layers of false identity, when suddenly, out of nowhere, a thin glass vase on my counter launched itself onto the floor. This wasn't just any vase. It held water, rocks, and a plant, everything symbolic. Water, representing emotions and intuition. Rocks, grounding and foundation. The plant, life and growth. And this fragile, thin glass vessel did not break. It hit the floor, spilled everything out, and still held. In that moment, I knew. That was me. That vase, that scene, was my soul speaking back. I've been shaken. I've been spilled. I've been through chaos and heartbreak and systems meant to silence me, but I did not break. And I'm still here, still growing, still sacred. That was more than a mess on the floor. That was confirmation that the work, the reclamation, the sovereignty, the trust in my intuition was becoming embodied. Reclaiming my spiritual sovereignty hasn't been some lofty, graceful awakening. It's been gritty, raw, and holy. I've had to confront deep fears, detangle myself from the beliefs of others, walk away from the expectations I was never meant to carry. And more than once, I've had to sit in complete silence and ask, is this thought mine? Do I really believe this? What does my soul say without the noise? That one simple moment, choosing to listen inward instead of obey outward pressure, was the turning point. That's when I stopped looking for permission and started trusting myself. This is what sovereignty looks like in real time. It's emotional earthquakes. It's energy shifting so fast it spills onto the floor. It's choosing you even when your voice still trembles. And I wouldn't trade it for anything, because this is what freedom tastes like. So how do we actually live from a place of power when it comes to spiritual sovereignty? Let's be real. This isn't a one-time revelation where you light a candle, journal once, and suddenly arrive at enlightenment. This is daily alignment. It's moment by moment, choice by choice, breath by breath. Spiritual sovereignty is a living practice. It's the courage to pause before you people please. It's the boldness to speak truth when silence would be safer. It's the sacred rebellion of saying, this is not my path, and I choose differently. To live from this place of inner power means calling all parts of yourself back home. You become the oracle, listening deeply, intuitively, knowing that your soul is your clearest guide. You rise as the warrior, unshakable in your truth, even when it rattles others. And you embody the goddess, divine, radiant, and rooted in the kind of love that begins within and ripples outward. Every sunrise offers a chance to realign, to course correct, to stop abandoning yourself and start honoring your essence. This isn't about perfection. This is about presence. Living from a place of power doesn't mean you never waver. It means when you do, you notice, you return, you realign. Your sovereignty isn't earned, it's remembered. And every time you choose you, every time you say no to something that drains you, every time you trust your own knowing over the crowd's noise, you step deeper into your throne. This is your power, unbought, unborrowed, unapologetic. Beautiful soul, take a moment to slow down. Breathe. Be present with yourself. Now grab your journal, your favorite pen, or whatever you need to connect with your inner truth. This is your sacred space. Reflection prompt. What beliefs, fears, or unconscious patterns have kept you from fully trusting your own spiritual wisdom? Maybe you were taught to doubt your instincts. Maybe someone made you feel unsafe when you spoke your truth. Maybe you've simply never been given permission to listen to yourself, and now you're ready to give that permission to you. Let that pour out onto the page. Then ask yourself, what can I release today? What do I want to reclaim? What does my soul need me to remember right now? Write a few affirmations that feel true, grounding, and liberating, like, I trust my inner voice. I don't need permission to be sovereign. My soul's wisdom is sacred and valid. If you're not sure where to begin, simply write, Dear Soul, and let your hand guide you. This isn't about writing the right thing. It's about letting your truth rise to the surface. Your words are your medicine. Your clarity is your power. And this moment, right now, is a reclamation. You're not broken. You're becoming. Let the journaling be part of your rising. You got this. And that, radiant soul, wraps up this sacred exploration into spiritual sovereignty. What it is, what it isn't, how we lose it, and most importantly, how we reclaim it. You've just taken a powerful step toward remembering who you truly are, not who they told you to be, not the version that played small to keep others comfortable, but you, unapologetically, unmistakably, divinely you. Now here's your invitation. Walk with your soul, not your fear. Trust your wisdom, even when it shakes things up. Stop asking for permission to exist fully. You already do. Reclaim your truth, challenge what no longer fits, and surround yourself with energies that mirror your freedom, not your conditioning. This isn't just the end of a podcast episode, it's a beginning. Your beginning. Thank you for joining me in this space of truth, remembrance, and rising. Keep seeking, keep choosing yourself, and always, always honor the fire within. Until next time, I see you. I appreciate you, I celebrate you, and I'm walking this path right beside you. With boundless love and light, Oracle Warrior Goddess.